Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to my shop. My name is Tony, and today we're going to be working on my very first burl and resin pen blank I made. I've never done this before. I got one from Wood River. I think you can see that there. It's I think that's Woodcraft's brand, and I made my first blank by just kind of doing a pop it out of there. There we go. As you can see, it turned out pretty nice. The color, I used some green mica, green and yellow shift mica. It floated up a teeny bit, so it's not perfectly square. But overall, I kind of went with that river table concept. Put two pieces of burl together with the bark there. Now, I don't have any pen blanks that are going to take a piece that large, or pen kits. I'm sorry, pen kits. So we're going to go ahead and get over there and figure out where's the best place to cut this to get two nice pens out of it. That'll still allow us to use this cool look here. I was kind of thinking of just trying to do that part there and maybe throwing the rest of it away. So we have that river table look in the middle. What do you guys think about that? I think that'd probably be the best look. All right, let's get over to the saw and figure out what's going to look the best. Okay, I'm going to be using the collar pen kit. This is one of my favorites right now. I'm really enjoying this kit. It's really easy to work with. And we can see the length of that barrel. We kind of cover that in there. There's a narrow spot here. It's really wide on there, so there'd be a lot of acrylic. We miss it entirely there. So trying to find out, do we want to try to keep that river look in there? I think we do. I think it'd look pretty cool if we do that. So I'm going to take my kit apart. I'm going to mark out where I want the blank to be with just a couple of pencil lines. I'll cut it a little over so I can trim it down with the pen mill. And we'll get it on the lathe and turn it and see if it turns out. I think if I do it just right, I might still get two out of this. I might still be able to get two out of this. We'll see. We'll see what we come up with. All right. Stay tuned. We'll get this pen done today. Okay, well, I got it over to the chop saw, actually, is what I ended up using. And you can see here that it filled very nice. It got real nice. The acrylic sunk all the way into the cracks there, or the epoxy, all the way into this bark inclusion. It looks really nice, tightly filled. So this will probably end up being a cool little knob or something later. I'm definitely not going to throw it away. But I got two blanks to work with our pen. I got one that's definitely the river table look. So we look at it from the side. We've got wood on both ends, so we should be able to secure our parts in pretty easy. We've got our pour I did in the middle. It sunk a little. You can see that. It did get a little sinking, and that's mostly because it floated up. So I've got to come up with a way to hold these down in the little mold I got there, I think. But I did have one little void there that I put a little CA in before I drilled the hole. It'll be right where the hole is, but I still don't want the bark coming out. And the same on this side. So one of the enclosed voids didn't get epoxy in it. On this one, we had a full wood surface here. You can see that beautiful burl in there. That really is pretty. All that flame orange color in there. I don't know if you can see that there. But that's really, really pretty. And then I had a little bit of bark inclusion that was closed in, like a little air pocket. So I went in and threw a little CA on that too. We'll have nice solid wood on both of these sections for our pen blank. So it should hold on, glue up real easily. I'm going to go ahead and drill the holes in these, scuff them up. We'll get right onto the lathe and turn them. There's a couple of videos you can see up in the corner up there. Ooh, right over there. There'll be a little card. If you want to see a whole pen turning video, start to finish process, the tools you need, it's pretty comprehensive. I'll have the link up there. This one, though, we're just going to get this drilled out, get it onto the lathe, turn it, and assemble it because I'm kind of excited, and I want to see what the little river looks like there. All right. I'll bring it back when I'm ready to mount it on the lathe. So I'm drilling out the pen blank here. I'm using a 13/32 drill bit. I know in previous videos I recommended a 27/64, but I found that slightly smaller, at 1/64 smaller, really makes a difference. After scuffing up the brass tube, I just used 150 grit sandpaper. I put a thin bead of Starbond medium in there. And I take a good look at that, pick an end that I want to insert it from, and then kind of twist it in as I go to spread that glue around. With the slightly smaller hole in the blank, it does get a little tough at the end, so you just got to press it in at the end with your tailstock support. Here I'm doing the traditional rounding. I prefer to use a spindle gouge. I'll also occasionally use a carbide, little round nose carbide, or my skew. But I found the spindle gouge for me personally gives me a lot better control. I try to get my full diameter first before I do any shaping. And because of that sinking section in the epoxy there, you can see it took me a little while to get it nice, perfectly round before I could start deciding on a shape. Most of the time, I'm just going to barely taper the two ends from my primary maximum outside diameter. And I'll use a skew like this to get my final finishing cuts. That just makes sanding a whole lot easier if you can feel comfortable using a skew. I found a couple of little bark inclusions, little pinholes and stuff, so I'd stop and fill those in with Starbond medium, hit them with a little accelerator, and it's really easy to make sure you get a perfectly smooth finish. Once I got everything together in terms of my diameter, I started working my distance down to the bushing. This is the part that matches up with the rest of the pen blank. And it was going really nice and smooth right here. I was feeling pretty good, and then all of a sudden, boom, that whole part just busts off. So I spent quite a bit of time on my hands and knees looking for those pieces, and I ended up gluing it back together. And the parts that I couldn't fit in there, I filled with bloodwood sawdust. You know me, I collect my sawdust up if it's a pretty color. And as you can see there on the far end, I filled that in with some CA. Put a piece of blue tape over the end to make sure no glue or sawdust got inside the tube itself. And I really like that deep purple, almost, it's a blood color. I like bloodwood, right? It ends up looking really nice in contrast with the green and the tawny yellows and salmon colors of the actual box elder burl. So it went pretty smooth after that, but again, there was a whole moment there I was sure I had just ruined my entire project. So once I had a shape I liked, it was time to get on to finishing. I start out at 180 grit, and I'm going to work myself up all the way through 2000. I keep stopping to inspect the blank itself to make sure there's no new pinholes or little air bubbles or something, because I really wanted a perfectly smooth finish, and I was not interested in doing a CA finish on this one. I don't like the way those look. A little too shiny and plasticky. I still want it to feel like wood. But as we kept sanding through the different grits, I would still find little pinholes, little things I wasn't happy with. So I'd stop and I'd go ahead and fill them, get out the skew, bring it back down, and until I had a finish I was really happy with. You'll see right up here that I found one little pinhole that needed to be done over. Pop it with the skew, get it flushed out, go right back to starting at 600, and work myself back up to the 2000. Pretty simple process all in all. You just got to be patient and consistent. I like to wipe off the blank between coats as well, which is a piece of paper. Here I am using my shop grit. It takes all the little micro scratches out and really makes it look nice. For assembly, I use the Miles Craft pen press. It's got a little silicone stopper on one end and a little aluminum anvil on the other. I like to put the show piece, the show surface, up on the rubber section. You really have to be careful with this that you've aligned your top with the barrel perfectly. You'll see here that I didn't have it perfectly lined up. If you try to force it, it'll crack your barrel. So I'll stop and keep adjusting it. You'll see right here, just a little boop, line it up just right, and the pen will slide together real easy. So once I've got it together like that, I get one final inspection before I do the final assembly, just to make sure I'm really happy with the overall look, that I'm not missing anything. And I do like the way this one looked. All those colors just work together nice, especially with the gold cap there. I got that real nice depth with the epoxy, with the yellow and green mica in there. The rest of the assembly for these collar kits is simple. You just got to plug the barrel up into that cap, and that holds it all together. Makes it easy to disassemble later by hand to swap out the pen, ink cartridge if you want to refill it. So that's that, guys. That's a whole entire show putting together one of these cool pens. Hope you had a good time. If you did, I'd sure appreciate your like, your subscribe, your comments. All that normal YouTube stuff really helps me out. And until next week, get out there and turn something.